everybody, it is Kelly from Cards by Christine. We are here on a Monday morning. We survived the weekend. We're here on a Monday morning for our first August 2025 kit of, there's 3 of them. So you will be hitting me on Monday, Thursday, Monday, and then I'll be back next week Thursday for Paper Pumpkin. So we've got lots of fun things coming this month with an extra kit class. And hello to Karen and Debbie. Thank you so much for joining. I forgot to take a sip of water before I started, so let's do that now. We are 11 days, I think, at this point into August, and I cannot believe it. School is going to be here before we know it. I'm not ready for that, but that being said, I am ready to kind of get a routine and get back into the swing of things. So it will be good. I know that. But anyways, so today we are going to be making cards. This is the Brighten Your Day kit. This kit just released in August. August 5th was when it was first available. But a select few of us already had it. If you went to any of the Stampin' Up demonstrator events, we had one in Appleton, Wisconsin. I'm blanking. We had one in Appleton, and I was able to go with Chris and a bunch of other people. We actually had it 2 days in Appleton. We had it Friday and Saturday, and I was there Friday. It was about a month ago. I want to say it was around this time in July. Oh my goodness! School starts on Thursday. I would not be okay with that. I am so not ready for school. I need to do a lot of work on lesson plans. I thought I was going to do that this weekend and I didn't. So shame on me. I'll get it. But anyways, yes, so we had a demonstrator event in July, and the attendees of the event got the kit. It's the Brighten Your Day kit. So we've had this in our hands for a little while, but for everyone else, it was available this month. So we are going to be making 3 each of 3 different card designs. They are, so funny, if you haven't seen it yet, the name Brighten Your Day doesn't really tell me what's in the kit, if that makes any sense. So I would have envisioned something bright and sunny and much more not this. You can barely see them because they're kind of pastel-y colors. It's not a bad thing. The cards are really pretty, actually. But I was kind of surprised with the name of it. And I think there were other people in the room that kind of echoed that sentiment. But that's totally okay. So anyways, we have Brighten Your Day kit. We've got 3 different cards in here. Okay. So here's the thing. I've had this kit for a month and I haven't even looked at it. It appears as though they're not quite as washed out as they look on the images. Look at this. That looks like very vanilla twine. That's really, really pretty. And then we have some dimensionals and some glue dots. Beautiful. Oh, good gracious. Okay, so we've got 3 different envelopes for the 3 different colors of cards, but there's a texture to these. Wow, that's really satisfying. So yeah, the exterior of the cards and the envelopes have beautiful texture to them. So that was unexpected. So let me do some catching up. Hello to Tanya from East Hampton, Connecticut. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. So then we get into the card bases. And here we have, okay, so all of the cards and envelopes have this texture. Oh no, did I freeze? I did. Okay, so let's, okay, you get me for a second. There we go. trying to... Uh-oh. You guys. Okay, so... Okay. Don't mind me. I'm trying to monitor over here. Okay, so I think the next minute or so, or the past minute or so by the time you're hearing this, is going to be a little choppy, but I think we've stabilized. So we'll get back into the kit and hope that we aren't going to continue to have problems. So anyways, we've got 4 different card bases, very, very pretty, 3 different card bases, very, very pretty, like painterly wash. So loving that. Let's see here. Our colors are Balmy Blue, Basic Beige, Fresh Freesia and Highland Heather, Lost Lagoon and Pecan Pie. So we've got Fresh Freesia and Highland Heather in the purple tones. We've got Lost Lagoon and Balmy Blue, and then we have Basic Beige and Pecan Pie for the third one. You guys, this technology issue got me all flustered. My apologies. Okay, then we have some sentiments. This kit does not include stamps, so it's got the printed out sentiments. And when that happens, typically these are kits with all the languages. So we will go ahead and get just a little note, hoping this brightens your day. So that's gonna go on the purple card, and then you make the world a better place. If you have any friends across the pond or anywhere all over the world, you can share all the extras that you have. And then we've got these beautiful laser cut images. So there is a piece of tissue paper between them. And then these are quite thin. So I think typically if you watch me, you know, sound is intermittent. Okay. We will continue to problem solve here. Hopefully it's not too terrible. Please keep letting me know what's going on because I don't have the ability to listen along. Otherwise you guys would be getting a lot of audio feedback. So this is very helpful for you guys to let me know. I am going to mute for just a minute and ask Chris if she can come and assist. All right, my friends, thank you so much for holding. Karen brought up a really great suggestion. Sometimes leaving the stream and coming back in helps. Sometimes it doesn't. I've got Chris out in the hive who's going to be watching along and helping from the back end. And then she also caught rewound to catch the replay to make sure that if it's having any issues that it's not being caught on the replay. So if you have gone out and come back in and are continuing to have issues, you may want to just come back and catch the replay, because then all of the buffering issues that you are having between you and me, the connection that we have, will be all caught up and good. Hello, Melanie. Thank you so much for joining. So I'm gonna go back down and catch up with what we were doing. So we've got our card bases and we've got our sentiments. Now, typically when I have these very intricate laser cut pieces, I really don't want to damage or risk damaging them, and these are very delicate. So normally if the pieces are like not quite as precise, I would layer them all up and save a little time on punching them out by punching all three at the same time. But I have a bad feeling that if I were to do that, I would likely ruin some of the delicate details. So for that reason, I'm just going to punch them out individually. And to save you all some time, I'm probably just going to punch out one of each instead of all three. Now, this Fernie one is going to be for our very neutral one. So that's the one with the basic beige and the pecan pie. So we'll put that down there. The florals are going on the purpley one. And then the birds are on the blue tone one. So very detailed laser cut images here. Some of the attachment points are quite small, so you want to be careful when you are punching them out. And then some of them are quite large. Oh my goodness. Okay. So here is the flowers. And then we've got our birds. Wow, these are so, so pretty. Okay. So there we have that. Like I said, I will punch these out and finish the cards up later. But for the time being, we have what we need to create the cards. I love how the envelopes match the imagery and the color scheme. I think that is so very cool. Okay, so it looks like we're starting with the purple card. So I'm gonna move everything else off to the side and get started with that. So, with our purple friend, the first thing I'm going to do is grab one of each of the supplies, keep the rest of my spot clear, And then I'm going to bring in some of my supplies and adhesives, and we're gonna get going. So, if you've done any kit classes with me before, hello Doris, thank you so much for joining. I usually bring in my own adhesive. I personally do not love glue dots. So to use glue dots on this piece, that would be kind of torturous for me. So I'm going to use liquid glue for that. And then I will use the dimensionals for the sentiment. Now what I'm trying to figure out is, I see here that we have this basic, very vanilla or basic beige, not quite exactly sure which one it is. I'm trying to figure out if we know how big of a piece we need. So we've got the lay flat of each of the cards, but I'm not seeing any indication of how much. Usually next to the ribbon, they'll tell you how much to cut. So I think we're a little bit on our own here. Sad face. So we'll just get started and figure out what we got going on. The first step is to burnish our card base. So I'm going to do that. I see here that, I mean, obviously the fold needs to be on the left side, but it looks like the darker part of the purple is on the bottom left. So that means our card is going to be situated that way. Now, the very delicate piece is going to lay this way, which means I'm going to flip it over to hit the back side. It's hard because the laser cut image is white. So it's hard to differentiate the front from the back. So I like to be very meticulous about how I do these steps to make sure that I'm getting the best card possible. If I put the glue on the wrong side, it wouldn't be the end of the world. It's still gonna be pretty. But by laying it out and then intentionally kind of walking through the steps, I know that I'm doing it the correct way. So once I have it flipped over, I'm going to put glue on some of the larger portions of the image. So some of these petals have a little bit more real estate that I can put the glue on. I don't want to overdo it with the glue because I don't necessarily want it seeping out, but at the same time I don't want to have large sections that are not stuck down. So just a couple spots. If that looks good, then flip it over. If you're going to be doing liquid glue like I am, when you flip it, you want to get it as close as possible to where you want it to reside permanently so that you don't have some mushy glue seeping out. So I'm going to gently flip it over. Hover it over the top where I can tell that it's not falling off any of the edges. And then I don't remember anymore exactly where the glue is, so I'm just going to gently tap on the whole thing in hopes that I catch all of the adhesive. Okay, just gonna give it a little extra push. Then we have our sentiment, which I cannot pick up. I'm going to flip that over and put some ribbon and some dimensionals. So I'm going to first do a dry run. It looks like this is kind of how all of the sentiments are going to be. So I'm going to try to figure out about how much ribbon this is using, measure it, and then I'll know for the rest of them. So I want a little bit hanging off of each end. So it looks like I could get by with about 13 inches. Grab my ribbon scissors. Okay. Oh, very smart, Doris. You could use an adhesive mat, place over the glued area, and pat. That's a great idea. Okay, so then we're going to take our dimensionals and we'll put 4 dimensionals on the back of our sentiment. And then we will relay our ribbon onto the back. Okay, kind of doing this circular pattern. So a little bit hanging off of the left, make a loop. And a loop. Flip it over. If you like how that looks, you can stick it down. The sentiment is going to go in the bottom right-hand corner, doing our best to make it look straight and level. And then I'll trim just a little bit of this end because it's a little long. And there you have it. Beautiful, simple, but very pretty card. I love that you've got the coordinating envelope. And I'm telling you, this texture is really nice. I know that you won't be able to kind of see that through the video, but it is very nice. Some of these leaves are kind of floating in the breeze. So for the future renditions of the card, I'm going to use a little bit more adhesive. It's not the end of the world, and it does kind of give a little bit of a nice shadow where it's lifting up some, but I don't want, you know, this could very easily just tear off, or in the envelope and all of the places that this card will be, you could have some issue with that. So we don't want that. It absolutely is a very pretty card. I am very much a fan of that. And so simple. So simple. Okay, so next we have the birdie card. So let's bring that one in. Again, we've got the matching envelope. Such a beautiful little detail. Okay, so we've got just a little note. Move the extras off to the side. You are correct. That would make a very pretty sympathy card. And all of these cards, let's say you aren't the kind of person who sends, quote unquote, just a little note, you could just flip this over and stamp your own sentiment on it. In this case, I would suggest Lost Lagoon, because that is the color that they printed this on. But you could absolutely do that and make this whatever kind of card you would like it to be. Okay, so now this is a horizontal card, and based on the coloring, I think the instructions are maybe a little darker than the card itself, but the side with the dark patch in the upper left-hand corner is the front of the card. Again, I'm going to lay my piece on as it's going to be on the card and flip it over so that I'm gluing on the correct side. And then I'll go ahead and, now like I said before, I'm going to add a little bit more glue this time. So just light little taps of glue. There's not as many places on this card that have a decent amount of what did I say before? Real estate. Very thin details, which is part of what makes this kit so very beautiful, but it's also, here, like the breast of the birdie. Okay, there's a nice little spot. But all right, we'll call that good. Again, just like last time, we're gonna hover it over the top, try to get it exactly where we want, and then squeeze it down so that it doesn't wiggle too much. Now I can take a deep breath. That was stressful. Okay, again, make sure I pat down all the little spots. A little bit of excess glue that peeled out. I was much more adventurous with the glue this time. Okay, that turned out excellent. Now, I'm assuming 13 inches is gonna do it again. So that's what I'm gonna go with. And same, we're gonna be putting 4 dimensionals on the back here. Hello, Holly, thank you so much for joining. Okay, so we're gonna squeeze that down. And then forward, back, forward. So we got make it a little shorter than that. Okay, just a little note, this is gonna go down in the lower right-hand corner. "13 inches was plenty on this one. We'll probably be trimming just a smidge off. Okay, get that stuck down. Trim. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Another stunning card. So here it is with its envelope. I wish you guys could just feel it. It's so soft. I love it. Okay, gorgeous. Move that off to the side. Where did I need to put my finished cards over here so we can bring them back in the frame when we're done. Okay. And last, but certainly not least, we have our neutral, or our beige and pecan card. "You make the world a better place." I love it. Okay. So, go ahead and burnish the card again. So for this one, we've got the white bright spot in the upper left-hand corner, a little darker in the lower right. The ferns are going to be aligned in the bottom right-hand corner, and this actually has, unlike the other two, this one has a straight corner. So these two cards, there were no like anchor points, if that makes sense. You could put it here, you could you know, have inched it to the left, to the right, up or down a little bit. Obviously there's not that much wiggle room, but this one we're going to try hard to get it to be right in the corner and make sure that the right and bottom portions that have a straight cut align accordingly. So we'll flip it over, go ahead and just dot some glue on again. Now, we also have another adhesive option. I think it's called the fine point glue pen. That would work as well, but I personally don't own that and have never used it. If anyone out there has and would love to give it a shout out about how much they love it or use it, that's great. But I cannot do so because I've never used it. Maybe that's on my bucket list of supplies to get. I have so many supplies I need to get. I'm actually just starting my own business under Chris, and I'm very excited about that, getting my setup going, and I am going to be doing some videos of my own, so stay tuned for that. I'm pretty sure I am overdoing it on the glue here, but that's okay. Okay, I think that works good. The laser cuts are gorgeous. You are correct, Debbie. Okay, so the last time I kind of used, obviously I have long nails, yes, but my nails and moreover my fingers are much too large to get under this. So using a take your pick tool, a tweezer, or even your scissor is a great way to maneuver these very delicate pieces. Again, I'm going to flip it over and hover over the corner. This one's going to be a little more particular. So get that where we want it. Thank you, Holly. I appreciate it. I'm so excited. I'm not leaving Chris. I love being on Chris's channel and a part of Chris's audience. I am, okay, so I aligned it on the bottom and it doesn't quite make it to the top. So totally fine. I think it's better that it's aligned on the bottom because up here it's kind of white on white, so it's a lot less noticeable. Yeah, so I will continue to be on this channel, but I'll have a channel of my own, and I've got some really great ideas on the type of videos and content and creations that I want to make. So I'm hoping to kick that off in September. So we'll see. Got a lot, back to school, all that good stuff. Got a lot going on. Okay, so we're going to do another 13-inch piece. And again, we're going to be putting 4 dimensionals behind. Then we're going to be weaving back and forth. Oops. So sticky. I think that looks just about good. Flip it over, see what we think. You make the world a better place, bottom right. I think that looks pretty good. I'm not going to trim these edges any excess. I like kind of exactly how that one falls. So that's gonna do it for that card. Bring our envelope in. And then we'll bring all of our cards back. You guys, I'm so excited. My boyfriend and Chris both have been really encouraging me to go ahead and take the plunge. So I've got a whole bunch of stuff that I've been thinking about and getting situated, and I am very excited to kind of branch into this next chapter. So yes, I will keep you all posted. Chris has absolutely encouraged me to let all of you in on what I'm doing and what I've got going on. I just, like I said, I'm not quite there yet. I don't want to start inviting people to the channel and in the groups and stuff like that without any content. So I'm trying to figure out what that's going to be and when it's going to take off, and I'll let you know. So here are the cards from the Brighten Your Day kit. We are making 9 cards in this kit. We've got 3 each of 3 different designs that you see here. The kit does not involve any stamping, so we've got the pre-printed labels, which is a great option for someone who's just getting started, or for someone who, you know, maybe isn't into this craft or hobby but would like to make some handmade greeting cards to have and to send. And it's also great for just about anyone. This would make an exceptional gift because it's all inclusive. And I think these cards are so, so pretty. Now, for those of you avid crafters, you could absolutely bring in some embellishments, some stella, some coloring, if you wanted to level up these cards, but they are very, very pretty, just the way they are. So if anyone does go ahead and either make any alternatives or maybe even, you know, make the cards as is but add some things to them, go ahead and post some pictures. We'd love to see them, or send them to us in any way, shape, or form that you communicate with us. But thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it, especially those who've been here since the beginning, working through a little bit of technical internet type issues. I appreciate your patience, and I appreciate you being here with us. And like I said, we've got a packed August, so you can tune in. Today is Monday the 11th. On Thursday of this week, we will have another kit. Then next week, Monday and Thursday, we'll have Kit and Paper Pumpkin respectively. So we've got lots of content coming to you in August. That, of course, is in addition to all of the classes that Chris has for her card kits, and Gina's got some scrapbook kits. We've got lots of fun things going on right here in the Hive. So stay tuned. We have so many fun, meaningful projects coming. So thank you so much. Have a great day, and I'm sending lots of sunshine, love, and big hugs your way.